This is our last speaker. Dr. David Evans consulted full-time for the Australian Greenhouse Office, now the Department of Climate Change, from 1999 to 2005, and part-time from 2008 to 2010, modelling Australia's carbon in plants, debris, mulch, soils, and forestry and agricultural products. Evans is a mathematician and engineer with 6 university degrees, including a PhD from Stanford University in electrical engineering. The area of human endeavour with the most experience and sophistication in dealing with feedbacks and analysing complex systems is electrical engineering, and the most crucial and disputed aspects of the understanding of the climate system are the feedbacks. The evidence supporting the idea that CO2 emissions were the main cause of global warming reversed itself from 1998 to 2006, causing Evans to move from being a warmist to a skeptic. Please welcome Dr. David Evans.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Janet. The debate about global warming has reached ridiculous proportions. It is full of lies and misunderstandings. I am a scientist who was on the gravy train, the carbon gravy train. I understand the evidence. I was once an alarmist and I'm now a skeptic. Watching this unfold has been amusing, but lately it's been worrying. This issue is just tearing society apart, and it's making fools and liars out of our politicians. The idea that carbon dioxide is the main cause of the recent global warming is based on a guess that was proved false by empirical evidence in the late 1990s. But the gravy train was too big, with too many jobs, industries, trading profits, political careers, and the possibility of world government and total control riding on the outcome. So rather than admit that they were wrong, the governments and their tame climate scientists now cheat and lie outrageously to maintain the fiction that carbon dioxide is a dangerous pollutant. Let's be perfectly clear. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, and other things being equal, the more carbon dioxide there is in the air, the warmer the planet. Every bit of carbon dioxide that we emit warms the planet. But the issue is not whether carbon dioxide warms the planet, but by how much. All serious scientists on both sides of the debate also agree on how much a given increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide raises the planet's temperature, if just the carbon dioxide is considered. These calculations come from laboratory experiments, and the basic physics has been known for over a century. The disagreement comes about what happens next. The planet reacts to that extra carbon dioxide, which changes everything. Most critically, the extra warmth causes more water to evaporate from the oceans. But does this extra water hang around and increase the height of the moist air in the atmosphere? Or does it simply create more clouds and rain? Back in 1980, when the carbon dioxide theory started, no one knew. The alarmists guessed that it would increase the height of the moist air around the planet, which would further warm the planet because the moisture is also a greenhouse gas. This is the core idea of every official climate model. For each bit of warming due to carbon dioxide, they claim it ends up causing 3 bits of warming due to the extra moist air. The climate models amplify the carbon dioxide warming by a factor of 3. So 2/3 of their projected warming is due to extra moist air. Only 1/3 is due to the carbon dioxide. I'll bet you didn't know that. Hardly anyone in the public does, but it's the core of the issue. All the disagreements, the lies, the misunderstanding all spring from this. The alarmist case is based on this guess about moisture in the atmosphere, and there is simply no evidence for this amplification that is at the core of their alarmism. This is why alarmists keep so quiet about it, and why you've never heard of it before. And it tells you what a poor job the media are doing covering this issue. Weather balloons have been measuring the atmosphere since the 1960s, many thousands of them every year. The climate models all predict that as the planet warms, a hot spot of moist air will develop over the tropics, about 10 kilometres up, as the layer of moist air expands upwards into the cool, dry air above. During the warming of the late 70s, the 80s and the 90s, the weather balloons found no hotspot. None at all, not even a small one. Nothing. This evidence proves that the climate models are fundamentally flawed, that they greatly overestimate the temperature increases due to carbon dioxide. Now, this evidence first became clear around the mid to late 1990s. At this point, official climate science stopped being a science. You see, in science, empirical evidence always trumps the theory, no matter how much you're in love with that theory. If theory and evidence disagree, real scientists scrap the theory. But official climate science ignored this crucial evidence and other subsequent evidence that backs it up, and instead clung to their carbon dioxide theory that just happens to make them wealthier and gives great political power to their government masters. There are now several independent pieces of evidence showing that the Earth responds to the warming due to extra carbon dioxide by dampening that warming. Every long-lived natural system behaves this way, counteracting any disturbance. Otherwise, the system would be unstable. The climate system is no exception, and now we can prove it. But the alarmists say the exact opposite, that the climate system amplifies any warming due to carbon dioxide and is potentially unstable. You heard of the tipping point? Surprise, surprise, their predictions of planetary temperature made in 1988 to the US Congress have proved much higher than reality. They keep lowering the temperature increases they expect, from 0.3 degrees per decade in 1990 to 0.2 degrees in 2001 and now 1.5 degrees per decade. Yet they have the gall to tell us it's worse than expected. These people are not scientists. They overestimate the temperature increases due to carbon dioxide despite the evidence, and now they cheat and lie to conceal the truth. One way they cheat, that anyone can understand, is the way they measure temperature. The official thermometers are often located in the warm exhaust of air conditioning outlets, over hot tarmac at airports, where they get blasts of hot air from jet engines, at wastewater plants, where they get warmth from decomposing sewage, or in hot cities choked with cars and buildings. This is how science cheats, gentlemen and ladies. Global warming is measured in tenths of a degree, so any extra heating nudge is important. In the United States, nearly 90% of official thermometers surveyed by volunteers violate official siting requirements that they not be too close to an artificial heating source. Nearly 90%. The photos of these thermometers are on the internet. You can get to them via the corruption paper at my website, sciencespeak.com. Look at the photos and you will never trust a government climate scientist again. They place their thermometers in warming locations and call the result global warming. Anyone can understand that this is cheating. They say that 2010 is the warmest recent year, but is only the warmest year at various airports, selected air conditioners and some car parks. global temperature is also measured by satellites, which measure the whole planet, nearly the whole planet, 24/7, without any bias, and they say that the hottest recent year was 1998, and that since 2001, global temperatures have levelled off. So it is a question of trust. If it really is warming up, as the government climate scientists say, why do they present only the surface thermometer results and never mention the satellite results? And why do they put their thermometers near artificial heating sources? This is so obviously a scam now. What's really going on with the climate? The Earth has been in a warming trend since the depth of the Little Ice Age around 1680 AD. Human emissions of carbon dioxide were negligible before 1850 and nearly all came after World War II. So human carbon dioxide can't possibly have caused the trend. Within the trend, the Pacific Decadal Oscillation causes alternating global warming and cooling for about 25 or 30 years at a stretch each way. We have just finished a warming phase, so you can expect mild global cooling for the next 2 decades. We are now at an extraordinary position. Official climate science, which is funded and directed entirely by government, promotes a theory that is based on a guess about clouds that is now a known falsehood. Governments gleefully accept their advice because the only ways to curb carbon emissions are to impose taxes and take control over uses of energy. And to curb emissions on a world scale might even lead to world government. How exciting for the political class! A carbon tax? Even if Australia stopped emitting all carbon dioxide tomorrow, we completely shut up shop and we go back to the Stone Age on Thursday. According to the official government climate models, it would be cooler by the year 2050 by about 0.015 degrees. But their models exaggerate tenfold. In fact, our sacrifices would make the planet in 2050 a mere 0.0015 degrees cooler. Finally, to those of you who still believe the planet is in danger from our carbon dioxide emissions, I'm sorry, but you've been had. Yes, carbon dioxide is a cause of global warming, but it's so minor, it's not worth doing much about. Thank you.